right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's presentation. Thank you for joining the Fund&Grow channel for our Black Friday special. So my name is Ari Page. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Fund&Grow, and I'm joined by our COO, Mike Banks, who will also be one of our presenters for today.
How you guys doing today? Let us know if you guys can hear us loud and clear. If you're seeing us on the video right now, come to the questions area. If you can, just let us know that you can hear us and see us. Because we are live, so we want to make sure everything's working. We got a few different streams going on, so
yep.
Yeah,
Let's go ahead and bring up our PowerPoint.
Okay.
Yep. So we're on quite a few platforms today, and we're just going to be giving some
good.
Very cool. So GoToWebinar's working. Feel free to leave us a note on the YouTube or on Facebook that you can see us. Leave a comment. Excellent. All right, so today we will be going over how to get 50 to 250,000 in 0% funding, and this is during uncertain times. Now remember, our company was born during the 2007-2008 crisis, and we are very good at maneuvering the markets in order to get lots of funding. So we are super excited to be presenting what we have today for everyone, which is an updated presentation on the benefits of using business credit, how to get access to it, and should you want to work with us, how our negotiators and how our team gets millions of dollars of funding every month.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've interviewed about a dozen clients since our last live webinar, and I'm hearing a lot of great things, a lot of happy clients, a lot of real estate investors who are buying properties outright as a cash buyer. So they're negotiating as a cash buyer, but then they're also able to close, add more deals to their portfolio. I got one guy interviewed, he's got 45 rentals. He's added 3 rentals to his portfolio in about 6 months, all funded with the credit we got for him. We're going to go over some of those case studies. We're going to show you some pictures and go over those interviews that I'm talking about. But what's really cool is being able to send a wire and having that ability to actually send a wire to a title company to close as a cash buyer, or even to pay contractors or to buy inventory. A lot of Amazon store owners.
And that's directly from the business funding accounts is what Mike's saying. So it works great with real estate. And really, there's virtually unlimited uses for business funding, from real estate to normal brick and mortars to we have a lot of Amazon online businesses. And we're going to be going over all of these different things today, but it's not about us. The question is, what are you guys going to use the funding for? What do you need the funding for, and how much do you need? So come to the questions area. Let us know, what will you use your funding for? As you know, up on the screen from Bloomberg, we have 8 out of 10 businesses fail within the first 18 months due to lack of funds. So getting access to funding, especially during uncertain times, is definitely a way to not only be able to expand, but to make sure that should there be more lockdowns or whatnot, that you can stay in business, that you can stay open, that you can carry your obligations.
Yep, absolutely. So come to the questions area and let us know how much you're looking for and what type of business or investment are you looking to use the funding for. So we got a few people so far. Will's using it for real estate investing. Tracy's also using it for real estate. Yolanda's using it to purchase homes. Linda buying additional single family rentals. Glenn's real estate. Let's see. Sandra says pay off CC and invest in real estate. Awesome. Well, as you can see, a lot of our audience does tend to be real estate investors. We have a lot of different business owners that go through our program as well, so it works for any business. But we've got a lot of real estate investors on the call, which is cool. I also do real estate. I've got one under contract right now that I'm going to be closing on in about 10 days. So this is a great way to fund those deals.
So we're going to go over how to get access to the funding and how we do that through the card stacking process, which does take 6 to 12 months, but you can walk away with hundreds of thousands of dollars of funding that you are 100% completely in charge. This isn't Shark Tank funding where you're giving up 50% of your business to someone else. So we're going to talk about how to set up a lendable entity, because it's really important that you're going to the bank with an entity that the banks want to approve. And we're going to talk about common reasons people get declined and how to boost your scores quickly. We're not talking about credit repair, but how to boost your scores just based off of factors and different things that are reporting. And we're going to get granular into that, and we're going to bring up right on our screen credit reports and show you exactly what we mean. So there's going to be things that you can learn from this call today that you can actionably take and move yourself forward. You can look at your own credit and you can boost yourself. And today on the call, what we're going to be talking about and helping people with is business credit. Now, business credit ties into your personal credit. So before the question is asked, The reason why we're going to talk about personal credit on today's call is because it ties into your business credit. But the business credit that we set up for our clients is considered unsecured. It does not. It's not tied directly to you or any of your assets, and they're not going to be able to, like, if you buy company vans with it, for example, they're not going to be able to take that away from you. So this is a much safer form of funding. And then finally, we're also going to talk about non-PG funding. So 2 different forms of business funding, as well as how your personal credit ties into that. So here you can see me with my family, with my wife and 2 children, and boy, is my son getting tall. Wow, I think maybe that's just because he was standing a little closer to the camera. But
I don't know. He's definitely getting up there. But I think one thing I wanted to mention on this slide that we just passed, we're going to talk about the negotiations process, and that literally brings in 70 to 80% more funding versus the auto approval amount that many people are going to see when they do it on their own. So the negotiations process is a very important part of our process, and I just wanted to mention that because we kind of breezed over that. But we talked about the cash buyer and everything else. So here's a picture of me and my dad and my sister. They both also work at Fund&Grow, which is a pretty cool thing. So there's our team. We're up to about 52 employees now. We're still bringing on some more people because we're just consistently bringing in more and more clients every month. So our team keeps growing. In fact, we just met with a builder because we just moved into our brand new office building, but now we're looking at building another building on the complex or on the property. So.
Yeah, and everyone's super excited about our expansion. So what are a few reasons why you should take what we're talking about today very serious? We've been in this space for a long time, not just me and Mike, but collectively the experience of our company. We were a mortgage company before becoming a business funding company. And what we found was as mortgages were dying down in the 2007, 2008 timeframe during that specific crash. Obviously, it's come back since then. But during that crash, what we did was we retooled our mortgage company to get to people the type of funding that was still being loaned. And at that time, the unsecured funding, business credit cards, were absolutely huge. We were literally getting clients $100,000, $50,000 just on one card alone. And so we've continued that card stacking process today. A lot of the banks, they don't want to give you 500 grand on one loan. What they want to do is mitigate the risk out between multiple banks. 50 here, 75 there, 100 there. And so what we've been doing is helping clients get access to this type of funding for many years now. We've acquired over $1 billion in funding in our total journey from mortgage to business funding. And we want to, help you, the viewer, with that. Not only help you with that, but if you want us to actually do the work for you, you can even have us do more than what we're going to show you on today's call, which is how you can kind of take the reins and move forward and do it on your own.
Yeah, I don't know if Ari mentioned, but we've helped over 25,000 business owners, entrepreneurs, investors. We're on the Inc. 5000 list of America's fastest growing private companies for 5 years in a row. So we're steadily growing. We're not going anywhere. As you can see, our team's continuing to grow. So you guys are in good hands. We submit about 1,500 to 2,000 applications every month. So we really know what the banks are looking for, how to qualify, how to get approved for the maximum amount. And that's what we're talking about today.
And for all of those who stick around to the end of the call, we have a bonus. We always like to give out a bonus, but notice that the bonus on this specific presentation is the biggest one you're going to see throughout the entire year. So it's not very often that we will drop our price, but for this particular promotion, we are dropping it lower than we ever have before. And so we have something great lined up for everyone to the end of the call. So the important part of using this type of funding is the long-term strategic aspect of it. To be able to have funding that you're able to use over and over and over. To be able to use the card stacking process where you're not giving up access or giving up equity within your company like Shark Tank funders do. What you're doing is you are 100%, you and your partner are the ones that are being put in charge. So all of the funding that's set up is yours. You can use it over and over. It doesn't appear on your personal credit report. And so you have to know which banks do this, how to get access to multiple accounts at the same time, how to do that card stacking process. And this is what we do for many clients. You can see Jane here talks about how she's an attorney, and she talks about how we got her this funding. She talks about the first batch. She even talks about the second batch. We have Philip Morris here, talks about getting $155,000 in his first batch of funding. And we're going to be bringing up a lot of different testimonials throughout the call, guys, because we want you to understand how many folks out there have already used this type of funding, and they've pivoted from more expensive funding from not just Shark Tank funding and hard money and those types of things, but there's merchant factoring. There's all these expensive forms of financing. When you have 0% unsecured financing available, you need to be like Val and like these others and move forward on getting that. But the question that we have for you right now is, how much do you need? A lot of people are in real estate. I'm assuming they're going to need all that they can get their hands on. Mm-hmm. Come to the questions area. No matter if you're on YouTube, if you're on our Facebook, if you're on the webinar right now, come to the questions area or the comments area and let us know how much funding you're looking for.
Yeah, and I think you made a good point, because a lot of people don't realize this resource is available. They don't realize they can get multiple accounts and build up to $250,000 in zero interest business credit. And when I interview some of my clients and they're like, wow, this really allowed me to 10x my business. Like one of my clients, Nick Perry, is a nationwide wholesaler. He went from doing $40,000 a month to now doing $400,000 a month in revenue. And he told me on the video interview on YouTube that it's because of the funding he got from us. And he couldn't really find any resource like that anywhere else, especially like with the real estate investors who have a hard time proving their income or providing like tax returns and all that stuff. That's why this is so great, because you don't have to jump through those hoops. It's all credit based. So I just had so many clients tell me how helpful it was and that they didn't know about this resource.
And a lot of times it's part of the problem can simply be that they actually qualify, but they're just not set up properly. For example, poor entity structuring. So they may actually qualify for funding. You might qualify for funding if your entity is set up the right way. And so that is a huge part of what we do. To be able to get you access to a lot of funding, to be able to do the card stacking process over and over and build up your available amount of funding, we have to get the right entity in place.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got a bunch of people that came and commented, so thank you guys for participating. But it looks like we've got people from 150,000, 250. Robert, Tracy, Brian's wants 50, Linda wants 250.
Abdi wants 650.
Yeah, there's so many of them coming in. Shahid wants 60,000.
And look, this is very specific. Like there's some that are looking for 35,000, some that are only looking for 50,000, 20,000. Dreana, Steve's looking for 250K. So perhaps those that are looking for the smaller amounts aren't, in real estate. They might be in a different industry, or they're just trying to dip their toes in. But a lot of our real estate clients are just endlessly looking for more and more money.
Yeah, and what's cool about this is what we do is a 12-month membership. So we split it up into 3 rounds over the 12 months, and that's how we build up to $250,000 after that 12-month period. But right away in the first 3 to 4 weeks, you guys can have a turnaround, have the credit in your hands, and that can range from anywhere from like as low as $20,000 if you've got some messed up credit right now, up to $100,000. And we've gotten people more than that, but that's a comfortable range right there of what we're seeing per round of funding.
And if you're doing this on your own, some of the steps that you're going to need to take are the steps that we would take on your behalf should we do it for you. So, of course, setting up a proper entity, leveraging, essentially what we do is we leverage the past data that we have from our clients. And so what is that past data that we have? It is the success and the denials of other clients in similar situations to you. So we know what steps to take, what to do to help you. Now, if on your own you're trying to do this, then obviously some of the steps that you're going to do are going to be to raise your credit limits, remove inquiries off your credit report, all the basic things. But this is what we would do for you. And part of that knowledge is, or part of being able to do this is having the knowledge of what's important on the credit report, which specific credit modules are being used when your scores are being pulled, so that we know in detail what's really happening on your scores. A lot of times people get a credit report and they're like, this is my number, and they don't know anything beyond that.
Right.
Well, which modules are being used? Is it a weighted scoring module that's being used? When you're going to the bank, they use a different type of, they pull a different report on you than you as a consumer are going to get on your own. So you as a consumer, you're going to see this report here on the left-hand side of your screen. You're going to see a consumer report. So we have 2 fields in this particular report right here, and it takes up the entire screen. But if you look on the right-hand side, you can see an entire page of a bank-level credit report. And on that particular report, we've called out a few items that we want to point out. And
Wait.
Yeah, let's go back one. So real quick, you can see that we have, I think we removed that one slide where it was zoomed in on that, where if you look real quick at the GMAC mortgage, I'm going to try to make this quick, folks. We don't want to bore you with complicated stuff, but we just want to show you some real tangible steps that you can take to help bring up your scores even when there's nothing negative on your report. So if you look at this particular GMAC mortgage in the red box over here on the right hand side of your screen where it says bank level report, it says GMAC mortgage inside a red box, and you can see that I've circled the date opened. It was open in 2005. But if you look on the right, I circled this where it says 01. That's under the historical status, under the months reviewed field. So even though this particular account was open in 2005, this client is only getting 1 month worth of seasoning. So all of his seasoning from all of those years are just being nixed, completely taken away. And look how they hide that field. They calculate your longevity of the account by using the historical status field, not by the date open field. So most people would think, well, if I opened it in 2005, I would get history from 2005. No, they don't use that field. They use this other field on the right-hand side. Why? More likely so they can manipulate. But either way, the point of the matter is we would help you get that updated. And if you as a consumer go and pull your report, they're not going to even show you that particular field. All they show you is the date open field. So you may already think that it's updated on your report, but that's because you're not seeing this other field called the historical status.
So what does that mean? It means that you're going to get a code that says you have a new account, when in reality that's an old account and it should be giving you positive credit history. Instead, it's making it look like you've got too many 30, new accounts.
Time since most recent account opening is too short.
These things are important to find because if you don't know to look for these things like we do, you will never know how to update it. But there's also another example where the limit reports incorrectly, and then because it shows up as a 0, you're already over your limit every time you put a balance on the card, and that screws up your debt to credit ratio, and that's going to bring your scores down as well. So
and that's what you're seeing in this Chase account. And you can see under the high credit, we got the blue circle here. It's got a 0 under the where it says revolving, but yet they have a $5,300 balance. So Bank of America gives these cards, Chase gives these cards, American Express gives these cards. They call it the open card or the no limit card or the fair and flexible card. And essentially they are cards that they give to high-end people like me and Mike have both been offered these cards, and they don't want to report a limit. They act like we're so special, they don't want to give us a limit, when in reality it's because any spending you do on that card puts you over limit, so they can bring people like us, they can bring our scores down.
And then it makes it harder for you to go get credit elsewhere.
To do the card stacking process.
But you can keep using that card, of course, as long as you want.
Exactly. So these items are really important to get cleared up. And we got so many examples of them. Here's an account that's open in 2007. They're only giving the client 25 months of seasoning. It's an absolute joke. And then you have these codes pop up, and they just kill your score. So we have clients that have good scores or they have nothing negative on their score, and they're like, I don't qualify for funding. This wouldn't work for me. This must not be real. No, there's just ratios and things on your report that are clearly bringing your scores down, even though they're not negatives, even though it's not credit repair isn't involved.
So guys, if you see the value in that, come to the questions area and let us know that you get what we're saying. If you have any follow-up questions about that stuff that we just went over, let us know. But you got to see the value in that, because those little things are going to improve your credit without having to do anything else, no credit repair, anything like that. And you're going to get a bump in your scores from those things. And that's what our team goes over in the beginning of the program. They're going to review your credit and make sure that there's nothing reporting inaccurately before we go and apply.
Awesome. So we got a couple people, Daniel, Misty. Appreciate it, guys. Excellent. So as we're mentioning, the personal credit really matters. And not that any of the funding that we're going to set up shows up on your personal. It doesn't appear on your personal, but they do want to look at your personal because it's considered personally guaranteed. So they look at your personal credit before then granting the credit to your tax ID number or granting it to your business. And then it reports to your business. It reports to the tax ID number. Now, there are business credit cards that will report to your personal credit, but we're not going to take you to those particular places unless you need help building your personal credit.
Because the bottom line is there's no zero interest business credit with cash access available without a personal credit check, but the business credit won't actually show up on your personal credit report. So when you're spending money on your business, you're doing deals, you're buying materials for your rehabs, all of that is not going to count against your personal score. Your personal score is going to stay high because it reports to the tax ID. But sometimes people get hung up on this. you still have to get a personal credit check because that's the main qualifier for zero interest business credit. Now,
yeah, this is true legit funding, guys. This isn't something that you're not going to pay back. You're going to pay it back. You're going to use it, and you're going to use it over and over. And so one of the things that we do when clients first get started is we help with their personal credit positioning. One of those things is to bring down any credit card balance that you have to 30% of the limit. So if you have a $10,000 card, you have to bring it down to a $3,000 balance on that card, and even preferably below that if possible, so that we can move forward and apply and get you the business cards. Now, why is this a thing? Well, when you go over 30%, it starts to bring your personal scores down. This is one of the key reasons why you need to get business funding. Because on the business card, we can leverage the entire thing. We can max it out, so to speak, and it's not going to bring anything down. It's not going to stop the card stacking process. In fact, we want to migrate any debt you have on your personal credit cards onto the business side. So that way your personal credit scores shoot through the roof, and it's easy to do the card stacking process over and over. So that's one of the things that we're going to do. We're going to also help you increase your personal credit limits by simply calling and asking for those limits to be raised. That's another way of helping your score, even prior to us doing an application batch on you. We're going to merge cards that come from the same banks together. So you have less overall cards. This is the codes, less overall cards, but the cards you do have a higher limit. And when we do that, we're going to merge it into the account that was open the longest. So the cards that you're retaining are the ones that have the oldest seasoning. So all of these things are going to help boost your scores. And then we can also help with inquiries. And if you have actual credit repair needs, that's a whole nother story. But there is a third-party company that we work with that we can help you with that as well.
And you just mentioned inquiries, and I saw a question come through about applying and them checking my personal credit. And the fact is, who cares about a couple inquiries if you're going to get $50,000 to $250,000 in business credit, which is now going to allow you to keep the debt off your personal, keep it on the business, which is going to keep your personal scores high. So the inquiries are like 2 points each. They're not even something to compare to the amount of credit you can get, and we help people remove them after the application round is complete. So the inquiries are a non-issue. If you don't have an entity now, it's a non-issue. Personal credit is the main qualifier.
Yes. And if you have problems with your personal credit, then we work with this third-party company called Kadem. We're actually partners with them, but they're a completely separate company from ours, a separate staff, separate building, separate location. And they are an incredibly great company to work with when it comes to fixing your credit. They've worked on my credit. They've worked on Mike's credit. They've worked on a lot of people within the company. They've worked on a lot of our affiliates that we work with, big name friends, people that you guys have already heard about. They're more of a wholesale company. So they work together with other companies like ours, specifically to take on high-end people that when they come in to our program, we need to make sure they actually move forward to funding. That's the key to Kadem, is that their credit repair process is so that people can actually move into funding with Fund&Grow. And so, yeah,
you mentioned the 4-channel dispute.
Yeah, they have a really cool, and I'm just going to keep this real quick, but their dispute process is pretty unique. So most credit repair companies, they just send out letters. You sign up with them, you pay them all this money, they send out letters. But there's actually 4 different ways of interacting with the credit bureaus. There's 4 channels, 4 different, gears, so to speak, that you could engage within the credit bureau to get these items deleted. So one of the ways is sending in letters. Everyone knows about that one. Another one of the ways is going online and doing a online dispute. And then another way is sending in faxes. You can actually fax in your dispute. And the last way is a verbal dispute. You can call in and you can get people on the phone to literally delete stuff right off your credit report when you have a conversation with them. So all 4 of these channels are different ways of disputing. They're different departments, different people. The guys in the internet department, there's geeks in that department are completely different than the guys answering phone calls that deal and are specialize in irate people and so on and so forth. So when you call in, you get a different answer than when you do an online dispute, and you get a different answer than when you do a fax or mail dispute.
And the only reason we're bringing this up is because we know some people on the call aren't going to qualify right now. So we just want you guys to know that we have a solution for you. If you decide to take advantage of the $700 discount today, you do have that solution. And we work together real closely with Kadem, and they're always communicating back to us, letting us know of results and updates, and we're helping to communicate with clients and things like that. So we're kind of in your corner, making sure credit repair is going down. But to be honest, this is for people with like 730 scores and up right now. Those are the people that are going to get funding in 3 to 4 weeks. So all those expectations we're going over are based on people that qualify right now as is. So strategic negotiations, we talked about that, but this really does bring in like 70 to 80% more funding because the auto approval comes back very often, just a bunch of zeros. Sometimes it's denied. Sometimes you get a $2,500 limit. It's not until we speak with our contact, a decision maker at each bank who we're in communication with every single day, going over all of our clients' applications. It's not until that point that we actually start seeing substantial approvals come in, because a lot of times the computer just systematically denies you. The algorithm sees one of those codes like time since new account too new, or too many new accounts, or too many balances, or whatever, and then boom, it just shoots you down. But really, you've got a 750 score and strong credit, so then when we get on the phone, we review it, you're going to get approved 99% of the time, even if it comes back as a denial. But the problem is, people don't know this. When they apply on their own, they just take the decision. They don't know about the negotiations process, which really, really makes a huge difference. Like, we can't, and you can't just tell your client to do it. There's other companies that do that. We have to do it. So we have direct relationships and communicate directly with the people who review the application, not just taking a computer systematic decision. We're making sure a human being reviews it.
And I would say that the negotiations team is probably the largest percentage of people that work on our team are negotiators. So when we initially do the applications, we get about one third of the total amount of funding that we get for any given client. 1/3. The negotiators bring in those other 2/3. It's absolutely stunning what they do. And the way that we set it up was that the negotiators are getting paid based on what they're bringing in for you guys.
Super motivated to make sure that they're going to,
like a commission,
get you credit, because they get paid more if they get you more credit, and they get an incentive if they get a review from a happy client. So you could be sure that they're very much motivated and incentivized to really perform,
make you happy,
for the client. So we've set it up in such a way that we made sure the client is going to be taken care of, because that's literally what we care about more than anything else. We just want to make sure that we're taking care of people, we're working with integrity, and we're standing behind what we say we're going to do. So that's what we're all about. That's why we have over 2,300 positive reviews with a 4.9 rating, because we care about our clients, and we really want that to shine through the webinar, because that to me is more important than anything. My reputation and how I'm handling the business and our clients. So Andrew, there's lots of questions that have been coming in. We're going to get to those. We're going to be on here for a while answering questions. So I'm going to get to that in a few minutes, but we're going to keep moving through the PowerPoint.
So this is one of those situations. The bank said no. What do I do now? This is one of those situations where someone has good credit. They know that they have always paid their bills. They've always taken care of their obligations. They don't have any late payments. They don't have any negatives, but they can't get access to the funding that we're talking about. Well, this is one of those situations where you might be carrying too much on one card, where you might need to rebalance your debt. And because of that balancing process, then the codes will drop out, or you might have accounts that have the wrong seasoning showing up, that have the wrong limits showing up. I forget the exact statistic, but me and Mike were just talking about it the other day, where how many people in the U.S., I think it was an Equifax study, where they determined this whole percentage, I think it was like 20-some percentage of the incorrect items didn't even have to do with a derogatory, just had to do with the incorrectly reporting.
Right.
It wasn't even a credit repair issue or a late payment issue. I think it's something like 27% of all inaccurate items were just simple inaccuracies that simply need to be updated. And people don't know about these things. And a lot of these reasons are why people get shot down. Do you think the banks care? No. All it does is it pushes you into a higher interest option. So we're taking you to a lower interest option, to an option where you are left in charge, rather than it being tied to you personally in such a way where they could take away your life and your kid and everything if you don't pay it. And so we're pushing you towards safer funding, whereas the banks would prefer to have you on higher interest, give them a little bit more control, a little more access over what you're doing. And so we're really pulling people into the higher end programs, and when they don't qualify for those higher end credit accounts, we make you qualify.
Yeah, and I've had a lot of clients tell me that, especially the people that I've interviewed, that they've tried to get access to business credit on their own, but they weren't getting approved, or they got approved for a really small amount. And that's because of what we talked about earlier. A lot of it's done just through the computer, and it's all automated based on whatever's on your report. They run their algorithm, and it makes the decision. And most people, that's what they stick with.
So now removing inquiries in between card stacking batches is huge. And it's important to also know the difference between a soft inquiry, a hard inquiry, how to actually target a hard inquiry. And so this is part of the technology that we actually provide to all of our clients. And if you want a higher end service to do it, that credit repair company we spoke about earlier, they also do it for our clients. Now, the great thing about the funding that we set up is that this type of funding can be used for anything. There is no money police that are going to come along and ask, well, where did you spend that? Did you spend it within your business or on this or on that? That's not the way that this type of funding works. It's not tied to an investor group or to angel investors or to a specific equity program or bank program where they direct how you spend it, and then you have to provide paperwork showing how you spent it. None of that applies here. This is just, you can spend it on literally whatever you want to spend it on. Although, of course, we don't recommend you go to Walmart with it. Spend it in your business. So this type of unsecured funding is just perfect for an investor, because if the worst should happen and you can't pay it off, they're not going to take whatever you purchased with the funding. Let's say you purchased a company van. They can't take that away from you. Let's say you are working on a rehab and everything goes to shit, but you paid for the new roof on the rehab with the card. Well, guess what? They can't take that roof back off. Now you can still flip the building and get paid back. And so no matter what, using this type of funding is powerful and from an asset protection point of view. But add on top of that all that spending that you're doing on top, they're going to give you cash back. They're going to give you points. I've said many times before, but 2 years ago, me and my family, we went to Barcelona, Spain, and we flew business first class, and they literally gave us beds to lay down in, and it was amazing. And we didn't spend a single dollar on it. No layover. We didn't have to go to Heathrow. It was a direct flight. And all of that is super expensive to do it without it would have been like $45,000 tickets for all four of us. And all of that was completely free because of the spending that we're doing. We're spending on pay-per-click marketing. We're spending on our office location. We're spending on phone lines. We're spending on the list is insane. Put all of that on a card. And when you do, now all of your spending, you've just knocked off like 1.5–2% of your total thing. If you're spending $200,000 a month on your facility and your PPC and all of your marketing and all of that, well, you've just knocked it down by 2%. That's huge.
Yeah.
Add that up month to month.
And even if you just do a couple deals, every 6 months, you're a real estate investor and you use this to buy some properties, even by doing that, you're covering the cost of the wire transfer. The wire transfer costs you about 2.85% to send a wire, but because you're sending $50,000 or $100,000, you're going to get back a lot of that cash through the rewards points, and I've heard it directly from my clients.
And another cool thing, so sometimes some clients want to get access to more cash. So if they're spending $50,000 a month on their facility and on their team and business, then instead of paying off the business card, what you do is you instead of paying with cash, that $50,000 a month, whatever your monthly expenses are, they switch it to the business card, and then they just start putting it on the card, and then their incoming proceeds from sales obviously start stacking up. Don't pay off the card, just pay the minimum monthly payment. And so there's multiple ways to use it where you don't even have to pull cash off the card, where you can just allow the spending to accrue on the card while not spending your cash, and effectively giving you access to more cash without even doing a cash transfer or anything like that. So this type of funding is great. It doesn't show up on your credit report. You can maximize the accounts. You can do the card stacking process. It leaves you in charge. You can use it for real estate, and by even sending wire transfers, it's just endless the amount of options and the things that you can do with it. And when you compare it to other loan options, it's just astronomical. Might go over the hard money.
Yeah, so I'm sure some of you guys have used hard money before. You know how it works. If you miss a payment, you lose the asset, and you're usually paying about 10 to 12% in interest. So if it's a $100,000 loan, let's just say you're buying a property, it's $100,000, you get a hard money loan, you're paying about $15,000 at 12% interest with 3 points. It's usually a 3% origination fee on the $100,000. You're looking at $15,000. If you get access to business credit, it'll cost you our membership, and it'll cost you 2.85% to send a wire. So that's like $2,800. It should say $2,850 here. So $2,850 to send a wire on $100,000 compared to $15,000 with hard money. But the difference is you can continue to repeat the process with that same $100,000. You don't have to start over again and pay another 12% interest every time you do a new deal. All you're paying here is 0% interest with business credit, and then the 2.85% wire fee plus our membership fee, obviously. But
which is a one-time.
But if you do the math, it's $2,800 for the wire plus our membership fee, which is discounted down $700. So obviously that's only for this promotion. All right, I'm sorry, I was going to start looking at questions a little too early.
All right, so here we have a real estate client that used their funding for, where they just wired it. They did a $45K cash down payment for my second rental property, and they mentioned using plastic, which is one of the services that we use. Once you get access to a business credit card, there's so many ways to get access to the funds on that card. So you don't even necessarily have to worry about converting it to cash. The question is, what do you want to purchase with it? Mm-hmm. And so that's why all the different teachers that we work with, they're all using this type of funding. None of them want to use hard money or expensive money. I mean, I'm sure no matter what, once you've leveraged one option, you're going to move on. You're going to use all the options available. But if you're not using this option and you're using the more expensive options, I would slide this one to the front of the deck.
Yeah, so corporate credit through Dun & Bradstreet is part of our program, but it's not the main focus. The main focus with us is on zero interest business credit through all the major banks. Corporate credit we also throw in as a bonus. So you can get vendor trade lines, different accounts with specific vendors. And the cool thing is there's no personal credit check. So a lot of people focus on that while they're in the middle of credit repair, so they can get their paydex score built up and they can get a corporate credit profile, so that when we apply for the zero interest business credit, now they've got a corporate credit profile and they've got a good personal credit profile.
And there are some other exciting aspects to the corporate credit, where if you have a specific type of business, it can be even more lucrative. Of course, like Mike just mentioned, it helps build your overall profile either way. Either way, it's good to have. It builds your profile. It gives you access to other different types of funding at different places, whether you would purchase at those places or not. But a lot of people use company vans. A lot of people use company vehicles or company cell phones or company, XYZ computers. A lot of these corporate credit accounts are specifically for that. If you need to buy a whole bunch of computers for your business, you can do a corporate credit. If you need to buy a fleet of vans, you can buy a corporate credit. We've bought 2 office buildings completely with corporate credit. No personal guarantee, no credit check from me, no credit check from Mike. It has nothing to do with us personally. These are 100% not personally guaranteed, and by using our corporate credit. And so the corporate credit may not be all that lucrative in the first month. You might be getting $75,000 from us with the unsecured funding, and the non-PG credit you might not get anything from in the first month. It doesn't matter though, because the long term, when you want to buy your office building, when you want to buy your fleet of vehicles, you'll be able to use the non-PG funding. So it is super powerful. We highly recommend all of our clients get started on it, and especially if you're having some kind of credit repair issue, get started on this. You'll be able to purchase a variety of different institutions right away. And so it's really great that there is this alternative type of funding that's separate from your personal credit. It's just really cool that exists.
Yeah, especially if you're getting into some like commercial real estate, then it gets a lot easier to get those non-recourse, no PG types of loans. And having that corporate credit profile is very important. So Nick Perry, I mentioned him earlier. He has a wholesaling business, real estate wholesaling. And he went from doing $40,000 a month to now doing $400,000 a month after getting with us and getting business credit. He goes all over it. He's showing you his binder, and those are not Pokemon cards. Those are business credit cards. And he's gotten over $300,000, I believe. Well, it says $100,000 here, but that's not accurate because he's in his second year with us, and he's already at $100,000 in the second year. Total, he's at about $300,000 now. And he's exploded his business.
And you can check out Mike's interview with Nick on our YouTube channel.
He said, without liquidity and this run rate, I wouldn't have made this growth happen. And then Gabe, I interviewed 6 months maybe. Gabe is a real estate investor. He did 8 remodels, and he used the credit to fund the remodels. I believe he used the credit to purchase some property or to like at least fund part of the deal. But specifically remember him telling me that he used it for 8 different renovation projects. and pretty cool stuff. We got another one. This guy Maurice bought his first 6 investment properties with the credit we got for him. Never bought an investment property before. Now he's got 6 properties and he's keeping them. He's holding them. He's cashed out, refinanced on them.
Guys, our clients are amazing.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Not everybody's just doing flips. A lot of our clients are buy and hold investors, and they're doing cash out refis, and then they're repeating the process. And he says he went from a 710 score to an 820 score because he's no longer putting the debt on the personal. He's putting it on his business credit where it belongs. This guy Eric right here, our client, has 45 rentals. He's an insurance broker and has a mortgage brokerage, and he's added 3 rentals to his portfolio. And he tells me that in that interview. Here's another review. Joe got over 140,000. Let's see, 60,000 plus 125,000
for a second batch.
Okay, the second batch went up to 125,000. 0 interest. Average time at 0 interest is 12 months, if anyone was wondering. And we have an A plus. We have over 800, maybe even over 900 reviews now on the BBB, and in total we're at 2,300 positive reviews with a 4.9 star rating. So in our membership, it's all done for you. We do all of the legwork. All you guys got to do is just sit back and receive the funding and then go and invest it in your business however you'd like to do that. Clients are typically getting up to $100,000 in the first 3 to 4 weeks. And over the course of the 12-month membership, we do 3 rounds of funding, building up to $250,000. And what's cool is, we've said it before, we'll say it again, it doesn't show up on your personal credit report.
Awesome. So by now you can see that the program that we've put together is really powerful. It's inclusive of all the items that are going to be needed to get you access to funding. It's not like once you get started, like, oh, by the way, where you actually need to get this entity, or you need to learn about this inquiry removal. All of it's included. So what you can see here, if we added all of this up and separately, it would be quite a pretty penny as far as a price tag. And back in 2007, 2008, that's what we were doing. Consulting at $1,500 an hour. Quite often it would take 10 to 12 hours to get a client $300,000, $400,000 of funding at that time. Since then, the banks have kind of recalibrated what they're doing. And so, we're looking at around $250,000 of funding for clients. And so, instead of charging $1,500 an hour, what we did was we put it together into a package. And we've now put together an entire team of people, from people that are doing the applications to the negotiations to getting you the funding. And all you guys have to do is literally open up the accounts and activate them and start spending. And we'll even show you the best ways to be able to utilize that funding. And so today, though, we have some upgrades and some bonuses that we talked about at the beginning of the call, some discounts. And so the first one is basically what we would call a buy one, get one. So what we've talked about today is for one partner. But what we want to do is, we recognize a lot of businesses have multiple partners. It might be a husband, wife, could be any combination, where you have more than one business partner. And so we're doing a buy one, get one, where we're going to include 2 people within this, which means 2 profiles, double the amount of funding, double the results. And so there's going to be no additional cost for the first 15 people to be able to have the secondary at no cost membership.
Yeah, we don't have to do that. We usually charge, that 1 fee per person, but we're throwing it in for 2 people. You get it for the price of 1.
And another offer that we're giving for the first 15 is to get access to our newsletter database without having to subscribe to it long term. So you're going to get access to it for the first month absolutely free. Go in there, decide if you like it, look at all the past articles. You can see how we've built Fund&Grow, how we've got it from doing no revenue to this year hopefully over 15 million in revenue, and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of clients every single month. How do we do that? How do we get the word out there? How do we create a team? What type of insurance do we use? Where do we go for our funding? All of those things, all of it's discussed in our newsletter, and you can watch our growth and our journey and adopt and learn from the successful strategies that we've employed. And again, all that shared in the newsletter. The first month is going to be free. So just to be clear, I know a lot of people at this point have questions like, well, what is all included? You're saying everything's included. What's included? We've just put right here a list on the screen of everything that's included. So come to the screen, take a quick look. That includes the entity, That includes the 3 to 5 batches of funding, that whole card stacking process that we talked about. That includes the credit consultants doing what they're doing to help you with your personal credit, to help you with your business profile. That includes the inquiry removal template guide that we talked about. It includes the cash liquidation strategies, access to all of those different services, how they work. We even help you with them. We have concierge service with a lot of those services that'll help push our clients. Then the Dun & Bradstreet program, how to get access to the non-PG funding. Everybody needs that funding. Every business needs that funding. And so if your business doesn't have that, then that is the ultimate. The DNB funding, the non-PG funding, that's the ultimate funding. We're not worried about our office building being taken away because it's completely non-PG. We're not worried about our other office building being taken away because it's also non-PG. And there's, if we were in the service industry where we needed vans, we could buy a whole fleet of vans, completely non-PG, or a whole fleet of cell phones or computers or whatever it is that businesses use. All of these things are offered through that type of funding, and it's very lucrative and very useful. So here again, we've put it all down together. And you can see in one list every single thing that's included of what we're providing today. And this is our Black Friday special and our Black Friday Cyber Monday special, where you are not going to get this price any other time. This is the lowest that we've ever gone, the lowest that we'll ever go. We're not going to keep it here for very long. And generally, the lowest that we go, if you go to our website right now, you're going to see us at $4,000. And there's other events that we've done in the past where we'll drop it down by $500. But this time we're doing a buy one get one, as well as going down to $3,300, so $3,297.
So $700 off. This is a limited time only. If you guys want if you want access to this, go to fundandgrow.com/10 days, and you'll be able to look at the offer. You'll be able to purchase right then and there. See the payment plans. There are 2 different payment options if you want to go that route. You don't have to lay down the $3,300 today. You could just put down about $1,266. So 3 payments of $1,266.
So yeah, so once you click on the link, fundandgrow.com/10 days, 10 being the number 10, 10 days. So if you're just listening to this, the link is fundandgrow.com/10, then the word days. And once you get to that website, you'll see that you have the $3,297 option, or you have the 2 payments of $1,774, or you have 3 payments of $1,266. It looks like. And so that way you can get started and just pay the 3 payment option, which would be over a 3-month period of time, or the 2 payment option, which would be over a 2-month period of time. And of course, the best deal is the 1 pay option. So Mike is going ahead and sending it through to everyone that is joining us on the webinar.
And we're going to open it up for the live Q&A now. So if you guys have questions, if we haven't answered it yet, send them through. We're going to answer every single question, and go ahead and send them through now. And I'm just sending the link through for you guys.
So go ahead and check in the GoToWebinar area for the link. We just sent it through. But keep in mind that there's endless things that you can do with this type of funding. There's no money police that is going to come and ask you what you've done with the money. Of course, we recommend that you spend it within your business, on your business. We do have some clients that will pay off personal debt to help their personal scores go up, to give them access to even more business funding. The reality is you can use it for whatever you need to, legally, completely legally. We're not getting around anything or doing anything. It's a business credit card. It's a credit card. You can do whatever you want with a credit card.
And it's not a cash advance. What we're talking about is sending a wire transfer.
No cash advance.
Using our partner, Plastic.com or Melio. They will allow you to send a wire from the credit account to wherever, to the title company, like many of my clients have done. I've done it, closed on deals as a cash buyer. So that's super straightforward, and it's not a cash advance fee. The cost that they charge to send that wire is 2.85%, and that's it. Tori says, why can't you charge us off? We do have a separate program, but that's not what the discount is. The discount is off our 12-month membership. And so you could put down a payment of $1,200, and then we'll charge the rest if you'd like to go that route. 30 days are the intervals of your payments.
Yeah, so Tori, just to be clear, there is a way that you could pay for that, but that's at 9%. Which is a lot cheaper than every other industry player out there that's doing what we do. But that's not where we're giving the massive discount today.
Yeah, would you rather pay 9% of $100,000, or would you rather pay $3,300 and get more than $100,000?
Get a quarter, yeah.
9% of $100,000 is $9,000. So this is way cheaper.
Okay, so Yanni is asking, is there more affordable pay plan options than 3Pay? Listen, this program isn't for everyone. If the 3Pay option and being able to lay out the 3 payments is too much, it might be that it's not perfect positioning or perfect timing for you right now. Now, if that does fit into your budget and you're not putting your rent payment down on business funding, then you'll be good to go. So we want to make sure that when you get started, you really understand what you're getting into. That this is a program that you're not necessarily, just because you're paying your first payment today doesn't mean that your funding is going to be there tomorrow. We have to look at your score. We have to determine what we're going to do to get you the maximum amount of funding. Sometimes we can move forward and apply right away. Other times there's things that we have to clean up on the credit first. Then we have to wait for that 30-day cycle for the credit to update so that the bureaus reflect the changes that were made. And so that could add an extra 30 days on. So the important thing is that when you get started, that you understand that this is a long-term process, that you're committed to getting the funding, whether you get it in the first 3 weeks or 4 weeks. That's not the big difference here. Once we take the first process, which could take 30 to 45 days to get your credit into a good lendable shape, once we've done that, all we have to do is apply over and over and over and over and over and over. So the initial credit positioning process, it could take 20 to 35 to 45 days. If you go through that process, you'll never have to do it again.
And just so you guys know, here's how you qualify. It's up on the screen, and I'm going to answer this question about plastic. It's already gone up.
Yeah,
here it is.
If it went up.
Laura said, "What is the fee for plastic?" It's 2.85% to send a wire. How do you transfer the money? You go to Plastic, you set up your account with Plastic, you add whoever you want to pay, whatever business it is, title company, add them as a pay to account, and then you put your credit card information in, and then they send the wire for you, and then they charge you 2.85% of the amount that you wanted to send. That's how that works. It's super easy. I've interviewed, like I've said before, I've interviewed several clients that have done this, and they've told me how easy it is. It's the same thing as sending a wire from your bank account. So if you've ever done that, Laura, if you ever sent a wire from your bank account to the title company or wherever, it's very easy to do that, just like it is with Plastic. Robert was discharged from a bankruptcy in 2016. Can I get funding now? Not business credit. You might be able to get personal credit, but most likely we're going to need credit repair for that situation. Abdi says, how do you pay back Plastic? You're paying Plastic with the credit card. You put your credit card info in, they charge it 2.85%. Now they've charged their fee, and that's that. You don't have to pay them back. What you're paying back is to your business credit account, whatever the balance is. So if you tell Plastic, send a $50,000 wire to the title company, then you're going to be paying them 2.85% of $50,000, and then you're going to pay back 1% minimum monthly payment to whichever bank that you use to send that wire. That's how the repayment works. It's 1% of the balance. That's the minimum monthly payment. So if you have a $100,000 balance, 1% of that will be your monthly payment, but it's going to keep going down because you're paying directly to the principal. I was able to increase my scores from 750 to 824 by transferring the business debt off my personal credit to a business card at 0%. So it looks like someone on YouTube, Crystal, mentioned that. So that's awesome to hear. Crystal, if you haven't already gotten signed up yet with those scores, you definitely should. And let's see. We do help setting up LLCs as well. That's something that we can help you with if you're interested in that. We set up entities for a lot of our clients. A lot of our clients are startups, and we'll use an entity. We'll set up a tax ID for them and match their industry years of experience, which allows them to get approved a lot more easily versus using like a brand new LLC. So we'll review all that with you guys. If you do get signed up, we'll review the best entity plan, but that's not a qualifier. All right. Lisa says, does that cover by $3,500 membership fee? I'm not sure what that means, Lisa. If I know I need credit repair, should I still give it a go? So something to keep in mind, we can help you guys with credit repair. we're not telling you, oops, I dropped my phone. We're not telling you guys not to sign up if you need credit repair, but we're just making it very clear what the expectation needs to be if you do need credit repair. So if you do sign up, don't just sign up and then say, oh, I need credit repair. I don't want to wait, because we're telling you now, if you need credit repair, if you need to make pay downs, that's going to be part of it, and you should have a pretty clear idea of if you're going to need those two items, if you're going to need repair, if you're going to need pay downs. So keep that in mind as you're signing up. I want everybody to get the discount, get the $700 off. Just keep in mind, if there's a couple roadblocks like that, we're going to need you to work with us and allow us that time it takes for credit repair. Or we're going to need you to make your pay downs, because remember, we're looking for about 30-35% debt to credit ratio. So if you have an idea of where you're at right now with your debt to credit on your credit cards, keep that in mind as you're signing up, because that's where we want you, about 35% of your debt to your total credit limits. Just on your credit cards, though, not on home equity lines of credit. All right. The name of the company is Kadam. That's the credit repair company. So it looks like we got a lot of people with a lot of credit repair questions. So just keep that in mind. If you guys get signed up with us, you could sign up even if your credit's not so good right now. But what we'll do is we'll put the 12-month membership on hold, so that while you're in credit repair, the 12 months isn't starting until credit repair is done. $700 discount is going to be limited time only. It's going to be for the rest of the week, and it's going to end on Cyber Monday. Does LLC setup cover by 30? Yes. So Lisa will set up the entity for you. It's all included in the membership fee. There's no weird back end fees that are about to pop up on you guys. Trust me. You sign up. It's a $700 discount, $3,300, and you can add a partner on if you have one in your family or your business. You can do that. But there's no back end fees. The only other additional fee that you might experience is sending a wire transfer. But as far as getting credit, there's no additional fees. Now, if you need credit repair, we've already talked about that. That's another story. Okay. Yeah, Sydney, you would be doing a balance transfer in that case if you're looking to pay it off a credit card. Mike says, thanks, that makes sense. Tracy says, I have good credit score, 702, but high student loans. Student loans aren't usually an issue. We can work around that, but if you're at a 702, I'm willing to bet your credit cards might be a little bit high on the utilization. I know personally, if I don't pay my credit cards off every month, my score is going to fluctuate like 30 to 50 points. I'll go from being in the 800s to being in like 750, 770 range. And that's not even being maxed out. That's just from having like 40%, 30% usage. So, if you're at 50%, try to bring it down to 30, 35%. Sam says, so why would you send wire transfer at 2.85% when bank is cheaper? Sam, that's incorrect. The wire transfer at 2.85% is the cheapest way to send the cash. There's no other way to do that. The bank is charging 0% interest, right? So that means you have no interest when you're paying it back. But in order to have the function of sending a wire somewhere, that costs 2.85% only on the amount you're sending. It's a one-time flat fee of 2.85%. It's not interest. It's basically like you're paying 3 points, basically, like an origination fee to be able to send that money to the title company. It's only going to cost you $2,800 on $100,000. And what's cool is if you do that, you're going to get a lot of rewards points back. That's going to cover the cost of that 2.85% wire. And I've had many clients tell me that. I've seen it happen for myself, and I know, that's how it works. So hopefully that clears it up for you, Sam, because this is the most affordable way to be able to use this to either buy properties or to fund rehabs or to buy inventory. Amazon, a lot of times they got a 2-week waiting period before they pay their resellers. So having that gap funding, and I know if you're an Amazon person on this call, you know exactly what I'm talking about. having that gap funding to hold you over so that you can keep buying more stuff without having to wait to get paid is a very important thing. Okay, yes, credit repair is separate. Aged personal cards. How aged do our personal cards have to be in order for us to qualify? You need at least a couple years of seasoning. Like if you just got your first credit card 6 months ago and that's all you got, that's not really enough foundation for business credit. So you need some credit history, right? 730 score, some credit history, a couple years or more with multiple major bank credit cards. You can't just have a Walmart and a Macy's card. Those aren't major bank credit cards. We need major bank credit cards, not store cards, because store cards basically don't hold any weight when it comes to the decision the bank makes on your application. They're not going to be looking at the store cards. All right. Marco says, I only have 3 credit cards with 4 years seasoning. My scores are 785, 799, 797. Will I be able to qualify for $100,000 in the first round? Unfortunately, I can't just sit here on the other side of the computer and just say, yes, you're qualified, because I have no way of knowing for sure what's actually on your credit report. So it would be unethical of me to answer that question and say, and if anyone ever answers that question and says, oh yeah, you're definitely going to get 100,000. I mean, come on, that would be a lie. I would need to review your credit report. I would need to look at all of the variables on there, and then I'd be able to give you a pre-qualification. And that's exactly what our processors are going to do, and our account managers, they're going to do that. Once we actually get to look at your credit report, we're going to do a soft credit pull. We're going to review your credit report and run a pre-qual, which will basically analyze your credit report against the criteria that the bank needs, and that's going to give us a very clear window of your pre-qualification. However, I'm not lending you the money, so I can't guarantee you that you're going to get $89,950, right? So what we do is we give you a window of where that type of credit report and what those criteria, those items on your report are going to produce as far as a pre-qual, and then that's when we'll be letting you know more of a clear picture on where you stand. But with those scores, and you got 4 years of history, you've got, high scores. I don't know what your limits are. I don't know what your balances are. I don't know if you have any new accounts. I don't know if you've got, recent inquiries. So there's a lot of variables there. But you have really good scores. I think you'd end up doing really well in the program. And it's not all about the first round of funding. There's 3 rounds of funding. So we're going to continue to build on the initial round as well. So Marco, I'd say if your current credit limits are high, then you should have some strong rounds of funding with us. If your current credits limits are on the lower side, then you'll be in the moderate to lower total, right? So if you have any follow-up questions, feel free, and I'll try to help you get a clearer picture on it. Because I know you're just trying to get kind of clear on what to expect before you buy, and I get that. But at the same time, I'm not going to be unethical and promise someone something that I have no bearing. I have no reason to be doing that without actually looking at someone's report. But like I said, higher limits usually produce higher rounds of funding with us. What if you don't have any credit cards right now, Novia says? Then you would need to focus on building your personal credit. What we would normally do is apply for personal credit. And we've done that for many clients who have limited personal credit. Right now, not everybody qualifies for business credit. So sometimes we got to apply for personal credit first because you don't qualify for personal. Then that's what we'll do. We'll apply for personal and we'll let you know, hey, you don't qualify for business. We need to get you personal credit first. And then you'll be like, oh, great. And then we'll get you some funding in the form of zero-interest business or personal credit cards. That's how it really works, though. Sydney says, I've known your program. Sydney, I don't know why you haven't been able to sign up, but we've got some pretty busy salespeople, but they're always calling people. If anyone says they're interested, they're calling them, and I'm not sure why you haven't purchased yet, but there's a $700 discount right now, guys. I don't know if you are just getting onto the webinar, but we have a $700 discount. That's the biggest discount we've ever done. So you should go to the link fundandgrow.com/10 days, 10 days, fundandgrow.com, 10 days. and sign up. Otherwise, you're going to miss the discount, but that's up to you. Guys, we submit about 1,500 to 2,000 credit applications every month. So we really know what we're doing. We know what the banks are looking for. We've got over 50 employees here, over 2,300 positive reviews with a 4.9 star rating. I was just talking to my BBB rep at the Better Business Bureau, and she said, she looked at our profile and she's like, this is like unreal. We never see a business with so many reviews and them pretty much all being positive with such a high rating. So if you go and look on Google or wherever you want to look, we have a ton of reviews with a high rating, which is not easy, but guess what? We really do care about our clients. We make sure that our clients, don't have a bad taste in their mouth about us, or, that they're happy, they're satisfied with what we've done. We try to be as professional, organized. We communicate. We don't leave anyone in the dark. Even with so many clients coming in, we're still providing a high level type of service that you would want to experience when you go and you buy something and you're dealing with a business like this. We make it the way that someone would want it to be. Look, just like me, when I've dealt with mortgage companies, title companies, lawyers, I've seen the different ways that they all operate, and I like being answered quickly. I like hearing someone on the other side of the phone. I like clarity. I don't like BS, beating around the bush type of responses. I like to be direct and get to the point, and that's that. And that's how we have trained our team. And that's why we've incentivized them in the way we have, because we want nothing more than to take care of our clients and make sure that everyone is happy about Fund and Grow. All right. Steve says, if we use business credit to purchase, how do we show proof of funds? I personally have never, I got a property under contract now. I've dealt with many sellers, and I haven't had to show one proof of funds. Now, I know if you're dealing with like a real estate agent, sometimes that comes up, but as far as I've seen, my experience, never had to use a proof of funds. I interviewed a client named JJ, Jonathan Jarrell. He's about an hour from our office, and he built 3 duplexes right next door to each other. He bought the land and he funded the down payments with the credit that we got for him. He didn't have to show proof of funds. I get that sometimes that happens, but if that happens, then you might want to use another source of funding then for that deal, because I'm not going to write a proof of funds and give it to you. However, I know you could easily go online right now, go to any hard money lender. They offer proof of funds letters. That's a very easy thing to get a hold of if that's what you need, but you're not going to be able to get that for credit cards. Minimum score, Brandon Clark, 720 and up. Let me bring that up real quick. Look at the screen right now. This is the qualifications, guys. If you're unclear, take a look at that. That kind of gives you an idea of the qualifications. 720 scores, 2 to 3 major bank cards with a couple years or more of seasoning. You'll be in good shape. And we're going to do a pre-underwriting consultation. We're going to make sure you qualify before we apply. We're not going to just apply for everybody. We're only applying for people who qualify. And we're going to make sure of that by adjusting things that are inaccurate, or going to credit repair, or doing pay down. So you're either going to go right to applications, right to funding, or we're going to say, you need credit repair, dude. Or we're going to say, hey, can you make some pay downs, please? That's the 3 potential ways that you might go when you get signed up with us. And you're going to know that within the first week. So you're not going to be left in the dark. You're going to know what's going on, and you're going to be able to move forward with clarity. That's like the most important thing to me, is like really understanding the process and having clarity. And I've had so many questions come in that I know I'm missing some, but I'm going to answer all of them. So if I missed it, feel free to send it through, and I'm just going to go right through a bunch of these. Daniel says, we can use this even though we're not in real estate. Correct. That's 100% correct. I've got clients in all different types of industries, all different types of businesses, entrepreneurs to medium-sized businesses with a huge team. We have so many different types of clients, used car dealerships, Amazon stores, landscapers, truck drivers, lawyers, doctors. I've had all different types of internet marketers, all different types of clients. $700 discount is not going to last, but it will be open until the Cyber Monday approaches. If you've got a bankruptcy on your report, you're going to need to get that removed first, and we can help you with that, but just know that that's a process, and right now we might be able to get you personal credit with a bankruptcy, but not business credit. With the fact that the dollar is declining each day, how will that affect the funding in the near future? That's a question for Robert Kiyosaki. Let's see. Katrina says, is there an additional fee for credit repair? If so, how much is it? That fee varies. It could be $500 or $800. And we'll usually give you a discount on that. But 3 or less negative items, $500. 3 or more, $800. If you don't want, if you can sign up with us now and get the discount on repair, or just go to Kadem first, because the last thing I want to do is have people sign up that need credit repair and then them get mad at us because they're not getting funding fast enough, when we've clearly told them that if you need credit repair first, we have to focus on that first. So if you guys do need credit repair, you can just sign up with us and get a discount, or you can go to Kadem first. That doesn't matter to me. I just want to make sure it's clear that that nobody's getting that part twisted. But the cool thing is the 12-month membership won't start until credit repair is done anyway. So if you sign up now, you get the $700 discount. You get the discount on Kadem on credit repair, and the 12 months won't start until credit repair is done anyway. So, I personally would probably just get the $700 discount, lock it in, and then just wait until credit repair is done. Because if I don't start on it now, when is credit repair going to get done? It hasn't been done for how long? How long have you been going around with bad credit? At least if you get started on it now, you'll know it's in process. You'll know it's moving forward. You'll lock in the discount. And in the end, you'll get closer to your end goal a lot faster. Okay, so Omar, if you have one bureau's good, the other one has 730. What if one of you have okay credit and the other has 730 and above? Okay. Got you. Your partner. So if you want to sign up, bring a partner on. It doesn't matter if you need credit repair. If you have a partner, bring them on. We'll do credit repair for you. We'll get you the funding using their credit. Once credit repair is done, you'll be able to be applied for after that. Maybe you don't need credit repair. Maybe you just need to make some pay downs. Once they get access to the funding with your partner's good credit, you can use the funding for whatever you want. Kevin says, I have 750 plus. What are other things you look for to have an approval rate? We look at how many major bank cards do you have? How long have they been open? Do you have any brand new accounts open in the last 6 months? What are your balances compared to the limits on the major bank cards, not the store cards? What are your limits to your balances on your major bank cards? Are you at 35%? Are you maxed out? With a 750 score, I got to imagine you got pretty strong credit. So those are the things we look at. But with a 750 score, I would just go and get the $700 discount, because you most likely qualify right now as is, unless we look at your credit and we find out that you've got a 650 score and not a 750. Otherwise, if what you're telling me is accurate with a 750, then you should just go sign up. Sydney says, do you have anyone that I can contact directly in Hollywood, Florida? I don't know. We'd have to look through our database. I'm sure we do, though. I have someone in Citrus Springs, Florida, which is about an hour north of where we're at right now. But without going and digging and doing some kind of search through our database, I don't know that off the top of my head. Klaji, I think that's pretty close. I have a 740 credit score. How much you think I will qualify for? I'd say you're somewhere between 20,000 to 100,000 on your first round over the course of the 12 months, somewhere between 50 to 250,000. It's hard to tell without looking at your credit report, guys. Like I said earlier, if you have high limits on your major bank credit cards, you should do well. You should end up on the stronger side of results. If you have brand new credit with small little credit limits, then you'll be on the lower end. But remember, it's a building process. So some clients only get a small amount on their first round, and then they get more on the second, and then they get more on the third, and it's a fact. Yes, Nichan says, will it be smart to start membership when you are in the process of buying a home? I don't think that's going to be an issue, because so here's the deal. We're not going to pull your credit or apply for credit until you tell us you've closed on your home. So if you could put down a $1,200 payment now, you lock in your $700 discount, I would do that. That's not going to stop you from closing on a home. I mean, I've had this question, I'd say I've had this question 100 times doing webinars for the last 10 years. About 100 times I've had this question, and my answer is always the same. We'll put it on, we won't apply, but you should sign up now and get the discount, because that's not going to stop. You could still buy things. If you spend $10,000 right now, that might affect your closing, but spending $1,000 isn't going to affect you closing on that deal. They're not going to ruin their chance at getting a new client and putting out a new loan over $1,000. Jared says, to follow up your question, do two people need to have the same entity? They can be separate. They don't have to have the same entity, Jared. Student loan doesn't affect anything. Don't worry about that. No, I'm not worried about FICO 10. Rally says, can you please give us the names of the banks who are giving business credit with F&G? Actually, we can't. That's proprietary information. I'm sorry. No, I'm just kidding. We work with all the major banks like Bank of America, Barclays, Chase, Citi, Key, Comerica, US Bank, Elon, American Express. The list goes on. We work with a lot of other smaller banks as well, but all the major banks you could ever think of that have a 0% offer, we work with them because we only go after 0% and no annual fee. So 0% usually lasts for about 12 months on average, but we do 3 rounds of funding. So you're going to get 0% average 12 months, 0% average 12 months, and again, at the end of the 12-month membership. So you're getting basically longer than that, more like 18 to 24 months if you combine it all together, because that's what we're going to do. We're going to merge accounts together, and we're going to end up getting an overall extended period of time at 0%. Seasoning just means like the age of something, right? So if I have a credit card that I opened 5 years ago, I have 5 years of seasoning on that account. That makes sense? Kind of like a seasoned anything. I mean, let's see. Joey says, I have a 730 FICO. I'm also in credit repair. Shouldn't I wait till my score goes up once credit repair is done? Like I said before, if you're in need of credit repair or in process of credit repair right now, that's fine. So I have about, I don't know how many exactly, but I'd say about 20 to 30% of our clients are in credit repair, but they're still my client at Fund&Grow because they most likely wanted the discount. So they locked it in. Now they own the membership. The membership doesn't start until credit repair is done. If you want the $700 discount, then don't wait until credit repair is done, unless you plan on waiting until next Black Friday. Okay, I answered that. All right, if you can send them through if I missed it, because I'm trying to catch them all, but this thing is like never ending. Novia says, if you sign up with your spouse and we have 2 separate businesses, can we get funding for both? Yes. Are there any success fees or back-end fees charged? Thomas D says, no, there are no back-end fees. This is a flat fee. You're capped. You get up to an order over $250,000. We do 3 rounds of funding. It's a done-for-you service. You don't have to do any of it yourself, and there's no back-end fee. Maximum funding a person can get with good FICO. I've seen people get between a husband and wife. I've seen a couple get $280,000 on their first round of funding. That means we're going to do 3 total over the 12 months. And I've seen people get $300,000-$400,000 over the 12-month period. So there's no maximum amount, because you can continue doing this for 2-3 years, right? You don't have to just get the 1 12-month membership and that's it. We have clients that sign up with us year after year after year and continue to grow the available amount at 0%. Steve said, is there an annual fee for the membership? Well, that is the $700 discount that we're talking about. The normal annual membership fee is $4,000, but we've discounted it down, so it's only $3,300 today. So that's it, and you could do a payment plan if you want. Okay, we got Roy coming through with the caps lock. If you're signing up with a partner but you have a good credit and your partner doesn't have it, that sounds like That sounds like a lot of our clients. One might have good credit, but the other one doesn't. Just get on board, get the $700 discount, and that's totally fine. Okay, Omar says, oh, guys, we didn't even talk about this. We have a company that offers pay down loans. So if you're maxed out, this company will literally wire you the money. You'll pay your cards down, then we'll apply for business credit, and then you'll pay the loan company off. Does that make sense? So if you're maxed out, or if you have high debt right now, I wouldn't say maxed out. We don't want those extreme cases. But if if you only need to pay down like $10,000, then we have a loan company that will wire you the money so you can pay down your credit cards, and then we'll get you business credit, and then you pay off the pay down loan. So we haven't even really talked about that, because the truth is, we would rather advise people to make the pay downs themselves instead of having to bring in another pay down loan into it. We'd rather just try to have people pay them down. But if you really need funding for your business, you can create ROI, but you just have a little too much debt right now on your personal cards, and we have a solution for that. No, you don't have to show W-2, no tax returns. This is all stated income, and we use projections, and we disclose that to each lender. So you're not having to provide tax returns or any of that. Stated income, and it's all credit-based. All right. How does this work? If you haven't been working at a 9-to-5 in the last 6 months and only have been working directly in your business, wholesaling, real estate, agent, only done one transaction through my brother, but I've done multiple wholesale deals. Oh, well, then you're golden. If you have good credit, then you could sign right up right now. If you're closing wholesale deals, you probably can use a little funding to start sending out more mail, to start doing more marketing. So then once you get to that point where you have a really good deal, you can actually buy it and cherry pick those really good ones with a huge amount of meat on the bone. So dude, you could definitely get access to credit right now. It doesn't matter about your 9-to-5. This business credit isn't based on your 9-to-5. This is based on what you're going to do with your business. And that's exactly what we explain when we're speaking with the decision maker at the bank. And we show them what you can do, what you've done, and what you plan to do with the credit. And that's how they come up, and based on your credit profile, that's how they decide what they're going to approve you for. If my business partner credit score is lower and my credit score is excellent, will my credit applications be affected or what? Rally, no. If your partner has good credit and you have bad credit, those don't intermingle at all. So that's it. Novia says, if I sign up with spouse, 2 separate, yes, I answered that. I got a LOL in here. Oh man, I forgot. Let me show you guys some of these slides. We got reviews for days. We don't play around. We take care of people. We're probably the most legitimate company in this space. And I just said probably just because I'm being nice. 231,000, 108,000. Guys, I don't know if you really believe me when I say that I really care about my reputation. I have integrity, and I'm not the kind of person that's going to tell somebody something and then go and do something else. So that's how I operate within this business too. And that's how everyone in the office operates. Because if they don't have integrity, we can sniff it out from a mile away. And we're not going to let someone who doesn't have integrity deal with our clients and their financial future at all. Ari takes that seriously. Our whole team, we're nothing but people who really care. Like a bunch of studs is what I was going to say. But we have a lot of women there as well. But we have a lot of really powerful, professional, highly skilled people in there who can handle a lot of work, but they can also get really good results. And that's why we have so many reviews, because we care. And it's that easy. If you're starting a business, all you got to do is care. Try to do good business. Take care of your people. Stand behind what you say you're going to do. Resolve issues. Take onus. Take responsibility. Don't just try to deflect responsibility onto the customer. If I got an issue with somebody, I always find my responsibility in it. I don't ever just shirk any. I always find responsibility in it. And I'm sure people on this call right now understand what I'm talking about, because if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, if you're trying to do your own thing and you're getting to that level, that mindset requires that type of thinking where you have integrity, you take responsibility, you create your reality, and you can affect it and improve it. So if anything ever comes up to me, that's just my indication of what I can do differently or how I could have handled that situation better. And I really, if you don't think like that, I really recommend it, because it takes, you get rid of that victim mentality, and now you're always in the driver's seat. You're always taking responsibility, and that's how I've learned to handle things. Is the best way to handle it right there. All right. All right, this person says the process took 2 weeks. You know, it would be nice if I could just like unmute everybody so that everyone could just talk and tell me their questions so I don't have to read them. All right, Parker says, do any of these newer fintech companies, do you work with any of these newer? No, we don't. Does the APR after 12 months is 12 to 18% on average after the 0%, but we want to keep it at 0%. That's what we do for you. However, that's what it does go up to, 12 to 18% on average. That's what we're seeing. All right, we got a lot of people have taken advantage of this already. So if you guys are on the fence, go ahead and take advantage. Go to fundandgrow.com/10 days, and that's 10 and the word days. We want you guys to get access to this before it's closed up, but I could see that a ton of people have already gotten started, and it looks like we still got about a couple hundred people or so on here right now. I'm not going anywhere. We're staying open, so stay on here with me, guys, and let's keep going through this stuff. I've been doing this for about 10 years now. I have a pretty good understanding of how business credit, how it works with real estate businesses, how it works with Amazon. So if you have any questions, like, you can use this for coaching programs. You could finance a coaching program with it. There's so many things that can be done with this. So what you're seeing on your screen right now is a snapshot of our So Tell Us. It's a review platform, and we have over 2,300 positive reviews on there alone with a 4.9 rating. Jarvis says, if I take the payment route, will I still get the $700 off? So yes, because what you're looking at, when you guys look at the payment plan right now, that's based on the $3,300 price point. So the payment plan that you're looking at is discounted, because if we were doing our normal price of $4,000, the payment plan would go over $4,000. Just like right now, the payment plan is going to go over the $3,300 because you're financing it. And just like with anything else, when you finance something, it costs more. Does having existing investment properties help with getting funding? Not exactly, but it helps when it comes to your level of savvy. Because if you've already got investment properties, I feel a lot more confident telling you to go and sign up right now, because I know you have a way to make money with the funding, right? But it's the people who are like, I don't know, can I split it on two cards? I haven't done a deal yet. Is this going to help me get my first deal done? Then I feel a little nervous about that, because I don't know if they're going to have it in them to actually go out and get a deal done, to actually go and do a fix and flip. But if you're telling me that you've already got investment properties under your belt, then it's a no-brainer, dude. Like, I'm seeing so many people who are savvy investors benefit from this probably the most, because they know money is money. If I got things I could buy and sell for more, all I need is some funding. And when people find out about this and they realize how easy it is to send a wire, if you're buying $50,000, $60,000, $100,000 properties, this could be your outright purchase money, or it could be used for part of the purchase. What else? All right, so if I take the payment route, yeah, I already did that one. You guys don't send the same question through 5 times in a row, because then you're screwing up my feed, and that's not helpful. And if so please don't do that. I don't want to be like a bouncer up in here and kicking people out. All right. Oh, wow. Look at this. Charles says, I'm a member and I was referred to Kadem. My credit scores are now 781, 763, and 713. I need funding. How do I get going? Charles, it sounds like you're about there. Tell me what your credit score was before Kadem started doing their magic. But Charles, you've definitely been in contact with our team. All you got to do is reach out to the people you're speaking with and let them know, hey, my scores have gone up. And, call in, send an email, something like that. So Charles went from a 670 to a 690. He's now at 780, 760, and 713. That's awesome, dude. Good job. Go Catum. All right. $700 discount. Ooh. I knew this was going to happen. Fields won. $700 discount. I did it when it was $500. So obviously he's like, damn, I could have saved $200 more. But he also says he got $50,000 in a few weeks. And, you know, I don't know. Uh-oh. Abdi says, I think you should coach Trump on taking responsibility. Oh, man. You know what? I might send him an email and let him know that I could be his accountability consultant, and I think we'd really do some great things together. Oh, shit. All right, so if you guys want to see reviews, you can go to fundandgrowreviews.com, and you can see a smorgasbord of reviews. Steve says, does it help to use a personal loan, like from Lending Tree as an example, to pay the cards down? Yes, that's pretty much what we suggest, but I wouldn't say Lending Tree per se. We have a company that we work with that will lend out of their fund, wire you money so you could pay your cards down, and then we get you business credit, and then you pay the pay down loan off. That one works the best for us. I have 2 corporations. Do you do one at a time? We usually suggest just doing one. Keeping it under one entity, because remember, listen, it's personally guaranteed. Somebody asked earlier, and I didn't get to answer it yet. What does PG mean? That means personally guaranteed. What does that mean? They're checking your personal credit. So what does that mean when it comes to what entity you're using? Well, basically it means that it doesn't matter what entity you use because they're tracking it based on your credit. So you're not going to get anywhere or any more advanced by applying under one entity and then going to the other one. However, if you want one card or 2 cards with, you know, one name on it and 2 cards with the other name, that's not like it's you know, out of this world or out of the question. We can do that, but usually it's better to just keep it under one. Should a 20-year-old get a secured card to use for a Shopify store? I was about that age when I got my first credit card, and my credit card was $1,000. So if you have a bank account that you've had for like a couple years, that's where I would apply. And I wouldn't even apply for a secured. I mean, secured cards are great, but I didn't need one. So my personal experience says you don't need one. So unless your credit's already screwed up somehow at 20 years old, I find that kind of hard to believe. But if your credit's in decent shape and you haven't ruined it yet, then go to your bank where you have a bank account and you'll likely get applied there. But yeah, I honestly, for Shopify, Amazon people, you know, we got a 20-year-old entrepreneur on this call right now. That's awesome. I love to see that. So keep doing what you're doing. Go to your bank account and apply with your bank that you have a bank account with. That's your best bet with getting approved. And why is that? Because you've already got a relationship with them. Let me know if you got any other questions. Who was that? That was the 20-year-old. Dahlia Doll. Yeah, we'd love to you know, interview you if you end up going through the program and you get credit as a 20-year-old entrepreneur. That would be you know, a pretty cool interview for the people out there in the YouTube land. Yes, there's a fee for the pay down loan, and it's a you know, whatever that word is, but it's a sliding scale or whatever, so it's not the same fee. It depends on the amount you're getting, and I don't have that all in my brain right now. But it's not ridiculous. It's a good option. I would not have brought that in for our clients if it was like a ripoff. It's reasonable. Charles, you should contact whoever you spoke with last. Just look in your email and see who that was and reach out to them, or you can call and talk to them over the phone. All right, I feel like I'm missing questions. If I haven't answered it yet, you can copy and paste it and send it through one time, not like 5 in a row. All right, we got a wow, that's awesome. I like those comments. Canadian, we haven't had good luck with ITINs. I could tell you, yeah, we could probably get you a small amount. It's gonna be a longer process, but to be honest, the ITIN, we haven't had good success with it. So Yeah, we really need someone with a U.S. credit history and U.S. Social Security number. So yeah, that's pretty much that. If you guys are on the call, let me know if you've signed up. I want to know who in here is asking questions and signing up. James says no one is answering my questions. James, looks like James might be in Italian. Let me see if I could find your question. Have you sent it through? More than once? I don't see it. Can you send it through again, please? Yeah, we're going to do a replay, but I wouldn't wait because, you know, the universe likes action, speed of implementation. Eric says, if you're starting your business from scratch, James, send me your question through because I'm trying to scroll up, but I'm not seeing it, and I don't want to just sit here scrolling and scanning. So please send it through again because I'm still not seeing it. Trying to sign up, but sent to the regular site, not to the discounted site. So did you actually go to the link? The link is fundandgrow.com / the numbers 10 and then the word days. Fundandgrow.com / 10 days. Misty says signed up. Let's see. Elisa's signing up. All right. James says, what if you have business credit cards and business loans already? Will this still work? What if I have business cards and business loans? Will this still work? I noticed now I've read the same thing twice. Okay, so you can still get credit. Yes, you could still get business credit even if you have existing business credit. And sometimes that actually makes it easier for us to get you more because you've already got the foundation there. So yes, James, we can definitely help you out. Overcomer in Christ from YouTube says, I'm so excited. I've had Christy call me already. Awesome. We love it. Let me know if there's I'm sure there's quite a few others who signed up, but what can someone let me know how many people have signed up? We've got one person saying that they're having a hard time with the website, so I just want to make sure. So yeah, let me know. Thank you. If you're starting your business from scratch and I have personal debts of about 50% of total limit, should I wait a couple years to pay it down? Or is it good to start business with will be real estate and investing based? So if you're at 50% debt to credit of your limits to your balance, I hope that's not going to take you a couple years to pay it down to 30%. So, but if you're just not sure what you're doing yet, if you're just getting into the business and you don't even know what you're going to use the money for, I don't really know, let me know where you're at, Eric. Are you doing deals yet, or are you planning on starting 2 years from now? Because your question says, should I wait a couple years to pay down? I mean, no, you shouldn't. You should pay it down. Like, you should try to pay your cards off every month, really. Pay to zero is estimated at 2.7 years. So on your credit cards, it's going to take you 2.7 years to just pay your credit cards down to 30%. That doesn't sound right. Oh, to zero. I'm sorry. I'm missing that part. Okay. Well, we don't need you to pay it down to zero. We need you to pay it down to 30%. Yeah, so 30%, we only need you to pay down from 50 to 30. So that's 20%. So that shouldn't take you that long. I mean, I don't know what you got going on, but and we're not going anywhere, so keep asking questions, stay on the webinar, and let me know if I missed your question. I'm going to go through some slides while you guys copy and paste any missed question that I missed. And here is the funding journey. You start at the top, you get a welcome email, which you're going to get in the next 24 hours. Then you can access your client portal. Then you can complete your portal profile. Then we do your credit profile review. Then we will improve, update inaccuracies, and make you more lendable. in number 5. And then number 6, we're going right to applications, getting you a bunch of credit, as much as we possibly can, as much as anyone in this industry will be able to get for you. We're the only ones who have, for one, a team this big, do this much volume with this much positive reviews. But we're the only ones who actually have a direct communication with the decision maker. That is worth a lot. Utilize funding and remove inquiries, review lendability position, obtain higher funding amounts, and then repeat the steps. All right. So what are you getting out of it really, though? Like, just business credit? No. You're going to have better personal credit now because you're not going to be maxed out on your Look at, who was it that was just telling me? Eric. Eric's got $100,000 in personal credit, and he's at 50%, and he thinks it's going to take him 2.5 years to pay that down. So he's got to wait now to get business credit. But if he was using business credit, he wouldn't have to worry about that because his scores would still be high, right? So you can you have a lot more cushion when it comes to leaving the debt on your business credit profile versus with your personal credit. You know, they slap you on the wrist real quick if you've got high balances. So yeah, you'll get better interest rates. Just obviously better credit is what we all want. More credit pretty much equals better credit. If you have a small amount of credit, that's not good because your debt to credit ratio is going to go up a lot faster because let's say you've only got $10,000 available. Now your debt to credit ratio can go up really easily and really quickly. But if you have $100,000 to $200,000 in credit, now you can put debt on there and you won't be frowned at. Yeah. Check out that slide while I look through these questions. Parker says, definitely signing up and looking forward to working with you guys. Much better price point and way more value than the dozen others I've looked into. You seem way more open and honest, which goes a long way. Yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to put up some front like I'm some polished businessman, but we have been doing this for 10 years. And we are dealing with about 1,500 to 2,000 applications every month. We have about over 300 clients, new clients, sign up with us every month. We have 50 plus employees, brand new office building we just moved into. I have relationships with all the top players in the real estate and Amazon space. You know, we don't have to put up this front that we're like these gurus. We can just be ourselves and make more of an impact that way. Whereas the guys who don't really have much going on, they have to put on this, this image and this, Lamborghini lifestyle type of a thing. But we don't have to do that. We're just, we're just real and we take care of people and we have integrity, and that means way more than a few pictures on a jet or with a Lambo. All right. If I only qualify for personal credit, how long will it take to get to business credit? 6 months. If you get personal credit right now, we'll be able to get you business credit on the next round. But that's not for sure. Like, I don't know. You're saying that, but maybe right now you qualify for half personal and half business. And I'm sorry I keep banging on the desk. I got yelled at a few times about it, but I can't help it. It just keeps happening. All right. Who else has signed up? It looks like we've got about 20 or more so far from what I'm seeing. So what is up? Who signed up? Who's on the fence? The price is $700 lower than normal. I'm here with you guys live. And this is the Black Friday Cyber Monday promo. I really... I can't urge you to take advantage of this because the price is going up. So Steve says, does it help to use a personal? No, I already got that. All right. If you're starting a business, did that. Trying to be quick. All right. Oh, man, we should have brought this up earlier. So if you guys look at your screen, this is a view of our credit gained view in our CRM. And this is like, it's hard to tell what you're looking at. I don't know how clear you can see this if you're on your cell phone or if you're on a computer, but there's a column on the left side with a lot of zeros. That's what happens when we apply initially. Zeros or small amounts. It's not until we do the negotiations process where we get 80% more funding. This is what we're trying to showcase here. We should probably push this way up, like before we show the link is where we should have this. But this isn't, so like I'm not really doing a good job explaining this. So I used to do negotiations, right? I used to submit applications and I would see it come back with mostly zeros. It wasn't until I got on the phone to speak with the decision maker and let them know how important it was for my client to get approved for the largest limit possible based on their credit. And I wouldn't stop until I got them approved. There was no, oh, I can't have it, or I can't get a $20,000 increase. No, let me talk to your supervisor. That's not, this client qualifies. They have strong credit. I know what you guys are looking for when it comes to the qualifications. Let's get this reviewed now because my client has big things in mind. They have a business. They're doing whatever their business is doing and they need the funding and they qualify. I wouldn't have submit the application if they didn't qualify. So let's get it decisioned and let's get this client the funding that they need. And that's how we're going to handle it because we're sending you a lot of volume. Right? Bank of America, right? Chase, right? All these banks we work with, sending you guys volume. We know you appreciate that. So we want this to be a two-way road. We need our clients to get approved. When we apply for them, we know they qualify. So that's why we're able to take that initial zero and turn it into a $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 account. Because there's people like me on the phone going to bat for you with the bank. And that's where the results come from. And we have some hustlers on our team that are just basically savages, and they're making tons of calls every day, and they're not just taking no for an answer. They're pushing, and they're making sure that they get good reviews from their clients and good funding results from their clients. So that's what you're looking at right there. Can you start my business checking account too? Really? No, I'm just kidding. We could probably do that, but I mean, that's like super easy. Let's see. Considering sign it up, is it possible to have a consult in current situation? Yeah, Eric, if you want, you can do that. Yeah, I mean, I'm on the webinar now. It's live. You guys, we're talking to each other. You have to text, unfortunately, but I'm trying to answer everyone right now, but let me know if you're the kind of person that needs a phone call so that you can just, bounce some things off of the person, ask your questions, put a conversation to it before you, purchase. Let me know. Are there any other YouTube or Facebook questions that I haven't seen yet? I know I'm getting through most of these GoToWebbies, but okay, Eric, why don't you send me your phone number and I'll have either Christy Banks or someone in the office call you, whoever's available. But it'll be one of our business development team. All right. Guys, if you're on GoToWebinar right now and I haven't answered you yet, can you please copy and paste it or just go sign up? Either way. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I hope that didn't rub someone the wrong way. Brad Kell, thank you, Banks. Wife and I completed this program and got $180,000. We'll redo program in 6 months in real estate investing. That's awesome. Have you done any deals? Have you bought anything? What are you doing with that 180,000? I know you're in real estate, but what have you specifically done with it? Alan says, I only have one credit card. I've had it for 30 years. That's what seasoning is. Whoever that was asking earlier, what is seasoning? Alan's got a card for 30 years open. That is seasoning. I don't think so. No. With that strength and that credit history, Alan, what's your limit on that card? I'm just curious, because if you've had it for 30 years, you should have like a $180,000 limit on that one card. Oh, cool, sweet. Everyone's getting their welcome emails. So once you guys sign up, you're gonna get a welcome email. Log into that, fill out the information, and then we're gonna move you forward. Do a pre-qualification, review your credit, and you'll be on your way to funding right away, or you'll be on your way to credit repair, or you'll be making pay downs. Those are the three options that could happen once we pre-qual you. All right, looks like a few more people went ahead and signed up. Guys, if you do sign up, let me know in the questions area so I can be like, oh, cool, you signed up. Welcome to the program, John, or whoever it is. I just like to put a name to the sign up and, you know, the questions and all that weird stuff. Alan, that's 26,000. So yeah, Alan, you're solid. You should definitely get signed up with that credit profile. I'm imagining you're probably in the high sevens. So yeah, definitely get signed up. Eugene, we're able to get any credit card, like Amex Platinums, but we don't get credit cards unless there's 0% interest with no annual fee. That's what we focus on. Is there a contact between F&G and us? What happens if you don't get any funding in 6 months? Then you would have already been out of the program, because we're not trying to hold people in the program who aren't getting funding. So if you're not getting funding, we want you to go. But here's the deal. If you're in the program for 6 months, there's a reason for it. And it's probably credit repair. And I told you guys before, if you're in credit repair, the 12 months doesn't start until credit repair is done. And sometimes credit repair takes a long time. That's it. Don't tell me Kadem sucks. The deal is this: credit repair takes a long time, and any other credit repair company is going to also take a long time. I don't want to hear about the 30-day, 45-day guarantees that all these other credit repair scams are throwing out there that are doing unethical things to try to get things removed. The nature of the beast is it's repeated disputes, okay? And that's how it works. So if you're in Fund&Grow for 6 months and you haven't gotten any funding, and you have a 750 credit score, then that's literally never going to happen, because if you have good credit, we're going to get you credit in the first 60 days, right? But if you're in there for 6 months, you must have credit repair needs. So that is literally like a moot point, because if you're in credit repair, obviously we're not getting you funding. That's why 6 months has gone by. So, you know, at that point, we either need to finish credit repair, or we would need to come to some type of an agreement on a refund. But I'm letting you know now, credit repair can take 6 months. So if you sign up with us and you know you need credit repair, and I'm telling you it could take 6 months, and you don't want to wait that long for credit repair to be done to get funding, then don't sign up. Because I can't control how long credit repair takes, and it might take 6 months. It might take longer than that. And if you can't wrap your head around waiting that long for credit repair to be done, then don't sign up, because it took you how many years to get your credit to where it's at, whether you have bad credit or good credit. I can't reverse what's happened in the last 10 years to your credit overnight. It takes months. So keep that in mind when it comes to credit repair. It took you a while to rack up those negative items. If that's your scenario, it's going to take us a while to remove them. What? Brad, what? Okay, so Brad's on YouTube. Can we get Brad's real name so we can reach out to him and set up an interview with him? Brad on YouTube says, Banks purchased 10 properties and a fourplex, then retired right before COVID. Wow. So you were busy. I would like to get more details and be able to interview you. So hopefully we can get his full name, so then we can get his contact information from the CRM. William says, I'm at work right now, unable to give this my full attention. Will this webinar be replayed? How can I contact you later for more info? I have a 720 score and about 7 personal credit cards. You can go on to the 8 p.m. session, or you can sign up now and we can speak with you about it tomorrow and give you all the details. That way you lock in your $700 discount. Don't overthink it, guys. You know, like it's a no-brainer what we're talking about here. We have a 60-day refund period. We have 2,300 positive reviews. Just pull the trigger. It's a no-brainer. It's $700 off our normal price. It's not something that you should like wait on or overthink. I've done that before, but there's certain things you could just tell. It's like, okay, let me just move forward. One sec. Oh. Have I missed your questions? Because I feel like I'm not seeing any more copy and paste come through. Have I gotten them all? Let me know, guys, quick. What happens if you get 100K on 3 rounds, but you end up not using it for any reason? Does it roll into next year? Yes. Is there any cost? Okay, so Roy, if you get 100,000 and you don't use it, if you want next year, we can get you more, and we can go to the same banks. We can merge accounts with the same bank. We can close the account and then reapply for it. So if you get it and you don't use it, it doesn't mean we can't repeat the process again. We definitely can. James says, there are 3 of us with 3 separate businesses, a financial planning firm, a car dealership, and a bridge building company. How does this work with different businesses and partners? Do we have to pay a membership fee for each business? Yes. So you have 3 people, so you'll have to buy 2 memberships. 2 memberships will cover 4 people. 1 membership covers 2 people. So you got 3, so you need 2 memberships. Steve says, thanks for your time. Thank you, Steve. Have you signed up yet? Who's gotten started? Come to the questions area and let me know. Steve says working on it. Well, don't work too hard on it. I'm just kidding. All right, looks like we got Matt, Courtney, Adrian. Let's see, Corey, Michael, Danielle. So those just came in recently. We got tons of people signing up. A lot of people still on the call. I think we're still like about 100. Let me know if we can get that full name for that client that bought 10 properties and a fourplex. That's on YouTube. Lisa says, I was told that a different EIN is used to apply for funding other than the one you operate your entity under. Well, here's why. Because with an LLC, a lot of times there's more verifications and they ask for more documentations, and sometimes they'll ask for tax returns more often than they will if we use just a base form of a tax ID, sole proprietorship. Also, we don't want to use a brand new LLC. And if someone has 2 or 3 years of industry experience in the real estate game, we want to be able to show that industry experience. So we'll set up a sole proprietorship strictly for the vehicle to get them approved with funding, because we know that the LLC isn't going to work. So that's why we would ever do that. But we would also use their existing LLC if they have one that's over 2 years old. But if it's brand new and they don't have an entity, or they have a brand new LLC, or what's cool is about a sole proprietorship, we can match the years of industry experience. So if like, for example, I did real estate for like 5 years, but I didn't set up an entity until like a year and a half ago, right? So I shouldn't be punished because I didn't set up an entity by the bank, but I've been doing business. I've been doing deals, wholesaling, flipping. I've just been doing it in my personal name. So what we can do for that person is set up a sole proprietorship. They get the tax ID. We match the years of industry experience, which we can do very easily when we apply for the sole proprietorship. Now they can apply for business credit and get approved for large amounts based on that industry experience that you have. Maybe you're a manager. Maybe you've only been a manager at a business. You manage the business. Well, that means you're in business management. So we can set up your sole proprietorship to make your years of industry experience match that, right? Same thing with marketing and advertising. Maybe you're just in marketing, right? But if you have that years of industry experience, we could put that on your sole proprietorship to show that you have that many years of industry experience in whichever industry it is that we decide on setting it up in. Sorry about banging the desk, guys. I know that's probably extremely annoying to have to hear that noise, but I just can't seem to remember. That's our old building. Many years and credit card applications submit from that building. And now, that's our new building. And if you're in the Tampa, Spring Hill, Florida area, feel free to come by, have a cup of coffee, let me know, and we'd love to show you guys around. It's a pretty sweet building. They like I forget the word, but basically they took the trees that were in this area of where they cleared the land. They used the trees, repurposed it as wood within the building. So you could see like throughout the building, it's really nice. Like there's like all this like natural looking wood framing, and it's a really nice building. Great building. Yeah, we spend like $100,000 in paid ads roughly each month. Imagine the rewards points we're getting, the cash back, the travel. If you guys are doing business and you're spending money to make money, you'd be crazy not to use business credit, because it's literally made for business. It's called business credit. If you're not using that now, you're disadvantaging yourself. Why are you only using your personal credit? Don't do that anymore. Stop it. Start using business credit and start putting the debt where it belongs. Sydney says, please call me directly. I spoke with Jennifer Ward. Things just didn't work out. Come on, that's on you. Like, I know my people are great. If you didn't sign up, that's on you. Like, don't like blame the salesperson for you not signing up. That's the kind of thing I don't like. Like, I like accountability. I like integrity. And I'm not, we don't like throwing each other under the bus. We don't put blame on our client. We don't throw the client under the bus. And I know that my team operates out of integrity, and there's just no way it was her fault that you haven't signed up yet. So if you want, you can call her back, or you can go online right now and sign up on the website. But if you're her contact, then you need to speak with her. And I'm not going to be calling you directly. I've interviewed so many clients, had so many like happy clients tell me like, Mike, I'm so grateful for what you guys have done for me. It's changed my business. It's allowed me to add 10 more rental properties to my portfolio instead of just, this guy said he could add 20 more properties each year now, instead of only being able to add 10 more properties per year. The guy that I told you about earlier, his name is Eric Henson. He owns an insurance agency and a mortgage brokerage. Here he is right here. This guy. And you could see him, you could find him on our YouTube channel. If you go to the playlist, client interviews, this is all backed by cold hard facts, everything I'm saying. So this guy got $130,000. He got 3 rentals, and in the interview he tells me that he's able to now add 20 more instead of just 10 more per year. Any other questions, comments, concerns, positive feedback, negative feedback, any suggestions? If there's any professional speakers on the call and you have any critiques, let me know. Eugene says, so if you're getting the credit under a sole proprietorship in the future, can the cars be moved under an LLC? There's no reason to do that. Guys, it's personally guaranteed credit. You got to understand something. If it's personally guaranteed credit, it means absolutely nothing when it comes to what type of entity you applied for. It means zilch, nothing. It doesn't matter. As long as you're using a tax ID, it doesn't matter what name is on the card. Like if it's your LLC name or if it's your sole proprietor name, it doesn't matter because it's personally guaranteed. That is never going to change. Kim says, thank you, I've signed up. Looking forward to working with your company. Thank you, Kim, for coming and letting me know, and I look forward to it, and I know my team's looking forward to it because, oops, my phone was making a noise. Looks like a really good credit gains day today. doing really good, getting a lot of credit for our clients, millions of dollars every single month in funding that we originate. Millions. We are really the best at what we do. There's no one better than us in this industry, and I know that for a fact. I mean, you can easily just review companies. Like, we all know how to look at reviews and determine, you know, who's doing what. And if you look at our reputation and the track record, the revenue that we're doing every month, every year, is continuously growing. Like, we're on the Inc. 5000 list 5 years in a row. We're about to do 15 million this year in revenue. We have over 300 new clients every month. We're doing over 12 million, $10 million roughly every month in funding we originate. Some months as high as 15 million. And even through COVID. So yes, it still works, even with a pandemic going on. All right. My throat hurts. You guys good? You got any other questions? Or let me know if there's anything I missed. I would like to stay here as long as you'd like me to stay, because I have a lot of people still on this call right now. So I don't know if you guys are just hanging out, not really paying attention anymore, or if you are doing something else. But if you're on here right now and you hear me, let me know if you have any other questions or anything like that. It's going on 2 hours. I know you guys have other things going on, but we got a lot of people on the call, and I like hanging out with people. So when there's a lot of people around, I usually stick around. So if you guys have any other questions, let me know. I know I'm a goof, but you know, it is what it is. Start to get delirious after answering questions for an hour, and you start going nuts. Lisa says, thank you, I'm signing up shortly. Steve says, I'm good, was just hanging out to hear the other people's questions. Yeah, I mean, I could keep going though if you guys don't have any questions. You know, here's just some of the questions that we've got from all the webinars that we've done in the last like 6 months. I mean, I could answer these, but I feel like I should respect everyone's time. It looks like I've answered everyone's question that's on the webinar right now. I do appreciate you guys. If you did take action, good for you. Pat yourself on the back because you pulled the trigger and you didn't get stuck in, contemplation. What's it called? Analysis paralysis. That's right. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Like, we got the reviews. You got a 60-day refund period. You got a $700 discount. You got a team of 50 people at your disposal. You guys can trust us. Obviously, you can tell that. So by now, you should see the value. And if you haven't yet, it might not be a good fit for you, or it might not be a good time. Either way, I know in the near future, we will be working together, and I really look forward to that. I was about to close, but we got some more people coming through now with questions. Omar says, looking forward to working with you. Likewise. James says, basically, if it's a business card, are you personally liable? Yes. Yeah, that's why there's a personal credit check. That's why we keep saying personally guaranteed. And that's why I'm saying it doesn't matter what entity you use, because you're on the hook. They're using your personal credit to approve you. But what's cool is you have a grace period. So it's not like if you miss a payment, you're screwed and you're like in huge trouble. You have like some of them 3-month grace period. I don't advise anyone getting access to this if you think that there might be some possibility of you not being able to pay it back. I know when I buy a house that I'm 100% paying back whatever the debt is. Like, this isn't that risky of a situation, right? I'm not going and like buying some volatile. I'm not going and buying crypto or Bitcoin or whatever. I'm referring to like a more volatile investment. But if you're buying houses, if you're selling on Amazon, you're going to sell the product, right? I mean, I'm trusting that you guys know what you're doing is safe. Your investments are pretty safe. They're a little bit risky, but they're safe. So don't go and like, spend it on something that you're not sure you're going to create an ROI with. So yes, you are personally liable, but you're also personally responsible for any amount of funding or loan that you get from anywhere. If you go and get a hard money loan, you're liable for that. You could lose the property if you don't pay on it. And there's pretty much every loan, it does come back to the person in the long run. James, so earlier what we were talking about with the no PG credit is corporate credit. And that's the small part of the program. If you remember, I mentioned to you guys, our main focus in this webinar and in our program is on business credit that you can get at 0% in 3 to 4 weeks and build up to $250,000. That's major bank credit that requires a personal guarantee. Now, the other type of credit that doesn't require a personal guarantee is vendor store credit that you get through Dun & Bradstreet, which isn't really the same at all. It's different. It's store credit, basically, versus zero interest business credit that you can send a wire transfer, you can use as cash. The non-PG stuff is store credit. However, what Ari was talking about was how we were able to buy our piece of commercial real estate using a non-recourse loan. When it comes to larger loans like non-recourse apartment buildings, storage facilities, commercial real estate, you can get these non-recourse loans which have no personal guarantee. It's based on the cash flow of the business and the credit of the business. So that's like for the more elite people to be able to get to the point where you're buying an apartment building or an office building, or you could even bundle multiple single family residences into a bundle loan that you could do at as a no PG loan. But that's for the elite guys. That's for elite investors who are buying multiple properties, buying high priced apartment and commercial type real estate. That's where those non-recourse loans come in the most. But when it comes to getting like $100,000 to grow your business as an entrepreneur, or $100,000 to be a real estate investor and do deals with, that's going to be personally guaranteed, because you're doing smaller deals and there's no real non-recourse option available when it comes to zero interest business credit. So why did we talk about non-PG earlier? Because with Dun & Bradstreet, you can build your corporate credit profile, get a paydex score, and be on your way into the future to being able to get the non-recourse loans that we're talking about. Having that foundation with Dun & Bradstreet, getting your paydex score up to 80 is going to allow you to get approved if you get to that point where you're trying to buy an office building like we did, or you're trying to buy an apartment complex like we are. Then you can start getting the non-recourse, non-PG loans. I just watched a debate with a few of my friends, Rob Swanson, Dave Pearson, Alex Pardo, Tim Bratz, and Rod Khalif. Have you guys heard of any of those guys? Well, two of those guys are into multifamily and apartment complex investing. And the other two guys, Rob and Dave, are into single family. And the debate was basically, what's better, multi or single? And they all brought up really great points. But the point when it came to the non-recourse was, the multifamily guys are really the only ones getting the non-recourse stuff. The single family guys, yeah, they can bundle a bunch of properties in a portfolio together, but that's not happening that often. So when it comes to multi, it is happening often for you to get non-recourse, but with single, it's not going to happen that often. So I wanted to clarify all that for you, because I know that that's not that easy to understand at first. But so if I earn approximately $1 million a year, have multiple properties, and at least $180,000 of personal credit card limits, what is the best route for me? You need business credit to start. That's what we would need to do first, to get you business credit. And then I can connect you with someone who can maybe talk to you about getting a bundled loan, so that you can basically put your portfolio into a non-recourse bundle loan. We don't do that. What we do is business credit, zero interest business credit. That's what we do. I don't like do mortgages and all loans. We haven't delved too much into any other loans other than pay down loans, short-term loans, and business credit. And we've grown so quickly that we haven't really needed to get into other types of lending. So if you're interested, what I suggest to you, James, is to get signed up with us. Let us build out your credit more so, and then let me maybe get you in contact with someone who could talk to you about one of those bundle loans, if that's what you're interested in. You might be able to do some kind of refinance with your portfolio and put them into a non-recourse loan. Maybe that's a possibility. But yeah, I would definitely say to start with business credit, start with corporate credit, get signed up now, and then we can talk more about what would be the best option for you, like on the back end when it comes to the bundles. Roy says, didn't answer second question. You know, Roy, if you would have just repeated the question right there, that would have been great. Because now I'm going to have to go searching for it. Roy. Roy, what's your last name? Okay, I see now. Do you require me to invest monthly service where they will get a accurate credit report like Identity IQ? No, we don't require that. We have our own way of getting tri-merge soft credit pull report. No problem. Yeah, we used to require that, but we don't need that anymore. All right. Any other last minute questions? Oh, I'm not sure what exactly that you're referring to right there, James. Looks like quite a few more people have signed up. Welcome to the program, guys. If you did just sign up, feel free to let me know. So Funding Circle just sounds like another company that does some type of, yeah, I don't know much about that, but thank you, Rick. I appreciate that. Rick said thank you for all you do. Vincent, developing first-time home buyers program. What would be your initial thought utilizing your program to get buyers up to their scores prior to purchasing their first home? So that's for you talking about like credit repair for those people. You could do that. You could just talk to Kaydem. Go to www.kaydem.com and you can reach out to them and talk to them about getting your home buyers credit worthy. Do you provide loans to startups? Yes, you could be a startup and you still can get approved. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Thank you so much for your time today. I hope everyone got some value out of it. I hope a lot of people took action. I know a good amount of you have. If you haven't taken action yet, go to the link. It's fundandgrow.com/10 days. Save that link. It's still going to be good, but it's going to be shutting down soon. So at least go to the link, check it out, talk with your wife, do what you got to do. Either way, it's been cool hanging out with you guys. I hope you got some value out of it. And until next time, we will see you next time. Have a good rest of your day, and thank you again.